almost 50 years, Funderland at the RDS in Dublin has been Ireland's premier winter event. Typically running from Boxing Day into the new year, the event sees some of the country's biggest rides, as well as rides from England and all over Europe. Funderland sees tens of thousands of visitors every winter and has faced little competition. However, in 2011, the city would receive another winter event. It was advertised as Ireland's version of Hyde Park Winter Wonderland. It was going to be incredible, but it failed. This is the story of 7-Up Winter Wonderland. The year was 2011, and it had been quite a quiet year for the NI and Irish fair scene, with no new events coming out. Despite this, in July of that year, it was announced by American entertainment firm AEG Entertainment that they would be bringing a Winter Wonderland event to Dublin. AEG primarily run concerts and entertainment venues all over the world and are the world's second largest provider of these types of events. The firm is also well known for being part of the running of London's Hyde Park Winter Wonderland, one of the most successful and famous Christmas events to date. Dublin Winter Wonderland was to feature many of the similar attractions you could find at its London counterpart, such as Christmas markets, ice rinks, bars, and a fun fair. The event was to cost just under €2 million and create up to 350 local jobs throughout the duration of the 5-week event. In addition, the event was expected to bring in 500,000 visitors. Furthermore, it was announced that soft drink company 7-Up would be the main sponsor of the event. They would invest a further €300,000 into the event, which include the ice rink 7-Up Christmas on Ice, as well as marketing efforts. 7-Up Christmas on Ice was a former ice skating rink event that was hosted in many different towns and cities across Ireland, including Letterkenny, Galway, Dublin. Even one year, the ice rink opened at Funderland RDS, which is now their rival. Overall, locals and enthusiasts alike were excited and intrigued about 7-Up Winter Wonderland. As the opening date of the 8th of December grew closer, more details were released about the event, including the fact that it was going to be featuring Kroon's mission space from the Netherlands. It was also going to feature a rare Schwarzkopf Bayern curve, as well as 3 coasters. The hype was at an all-time high, as ride loads and different trucks began pulling onto the parklands at Dublin's Royal Hospital. The location itself was absolutely stunning. 7-Up Winter Wonderland officially opened its doors on the 8th of December 2011, and the reviews were incredible.
Is there anything in particular yourself or the kids are looking forward to in the Winter Wonderland?
I suppose Quiva is a bit of a daredevil, and Daddy's not so much, so she wants to go on all the big rides outside. It's great to come down, even though it's freezing outside, to see so many happy faces and everybody smiling. And
I'm here with my godson tonight, Nathan, and he's 7 and he's loving it. He's like, can we go out and more rides? Can we go again? Have you seen the Space Mission thing? It looks
yeah,
great.
just outside.
Yeah,
it looks pretty scary.
Audiences raved about the quality of the event. This wasn't your average fun fair, it was a full experience for the whole family. Like the Hyde Park event, there was Christmas and Bavarian theming around every corner. There were many eateries and bars as well, each of which were themed into the event to match the Christmas theme. Many of the rides were also re-themed to match the Christmas theme. For example, the spinning mouse coaster was re-themed to the Alpine coaster. Another highlight of the event was undoubtedly the circus. The circus was put on by Fawcett Circus, who did multiple different performances throughout each day. Fawcett Circus has travelled to many different towns and cities across Ireland, as well as many different events such as Electric Picnic and, yes, Funderland at the RDS. The 7-Up ice rink was also another very popular attraction, with an estimated over 80,000 skaters throughout the duration of the event. From this glance, there was already plenty you could do at 7-Up Winter Wonderland, but let's take a look at the rides that they had. Right at the front of the fair was Castle's Red Wheel. The wheel stood at 30 metres tall and offered great views over the parklands and the surrounding event. Another familiar ride was Castle's Sea Storm pirate ship. Both of these rides were very familiar to see at both Irish and Northern Irish fairs, even to this day. Moving on, as mentioned previously, the event featured 3 roller coasters, 1 children's coaster and 2 thrill coasters, a toboggan and spinning mouse. The larger of the 2 coasters was Meller's Magic Mouse, which was rethemed to the Alpine coaster. The coaster has been to many of the biggest events and fairs all over the UK. This was the coaster's Irish debut and offered an almost identical experience to the Crazy Mouse coaster, which was open in the RDS during the period of the event. The coaster performed well at the event and was considered one of the marquee attractions. Funny enough, in the past few years, Alpine Coaster has been opening at Hyde Park Winter Wonderland under the theme Ice Mountain, where the entire ride is enclosed in darkness. The other large-scale coaster at the fair was a Chance Rides toboggan, I believe owned by an English showman of some description. As you can tell, it was definitely an interesting experience. The ride started with a vertical lift hill before a long spiral, possibly allowing you to rethink your life decisions before getting absolutely bashed in the second half. Safe to say this was not a very popular attraction. Throughout the fair there were a mixture of other traditional fair rides, but there were 2 other rides that really stood out, the 2 rides from mainland Europe. First up was the rare Schwarzkopf Bayern Curve, owned by the Bozek family from France. The ride featured bobsled style cars that traversed an oval shaped layout. Although simple in design, the ride offered a high speed, fun experience that was sure to please both families and thrill seekers. Not to mention, the ride fitted really well into the event, with a full Winter Olympic theme completed with a fountain in the middle, definitely making it one of the best presented rides at the event. Now moving on to the largest attraction, and the ride that this event became most known for, Mission Space. Standing at a whopping 80 metres tall, Mission Space dominated the Dublin skyline and absolutely dwarfed Castle's Wheel, which stood at only 30 metres tall. The ride was owned by Tony Krum from the Netherlands and built by KMG. The ride wasn't anything too thrilling, as it was basically an oversized Starflyer, but the open seats, extreme height, and the strange looking nature of the ride all combined to make it a very memorable experience. At the time it was the tallest travelling ride in the world. Although it had a mixed response with some enthusiasts, with some people calling it boring, it was undoubtedly the highlight of the fair. So as we can tell, this event was, without a shadow of a doubt, incredible. AEG stated in their press release that they were planning to continue on for another 5 years up until 2016, and from then they would decide if it was worth keeping. From media articles, it looked like the event was a smashing success. However, in April 2012, a shocking announcement was made by AEG. The event failed to generate anywhere near the amount of revenue they were expecting it to generate, and the next 4 events were going to be cancelled. It was estimated that the event made a loss of €200,000. So, what went wrong? For a start, even though the event had a prime location in the centre of Dublin, a common point thrown around was the event's lack of parking. The Royal Hospital only had a medium to small sized car park that was not meant to handle an event of this scale, whilst also still serving visitors of the museum. Furthermore, Ireland was still recovering from the effects of the 2008 recession. Unemployment rates were up and the economy was very slow, so obviously people would not have enough money to spend on a brand new event, especially ones that charge premium prices like Winter Wonderland. I also think Funderland RDS had a part to play in the failure of Winter Wonderland. For the 2011 event, Funderland introduced wristbands, and if you know anything about Irish people. They love wristband fairs. Combine this with the financial strain of Christmas and 2011, and people would much rather have gone to the fair with the better value. Overall, the failure of 7-Up Winter Wonderland was truly extremely unfortunate. It really was a situation of the wrong place at the wrong time. If the event had just happened maybe a year or two later, maybe, just maybe, the event would have survived and it could have still been around today. Imagine 2 major fairs in Dublin at the same time. That would be heaven. NI in Ireland and winter events do not go hand in hand. From Euro Christmas, Belfast Winter Wonderland, Titanic Winterfest, St. Column's Magic Kingdom, Funderland Christmas Village, and 7-Up Winter Wonderland, there have been a fair share of events that have happened once and never happened again. It really is sad seeing a lot of these Christmas events end up being failures, as they always have amazing lineups. Although many of these events have failed, there is one event that has outlived them all, Enchanted Winter Gardens Antrim, which has been going on since 2013 and has been growing yearly. I'll be visiting there for the first time next week, and hopefully it will live up to the rave reviews I've heard about it. Also this year, Cadonas are attempting a Christmas event in Kittyland Portrush. The event's going to be featuring a Santa's Grotto, a train ride, and of course all our favourite rides from the summer, including Star Attraction. Hopefully this event does well and doesn't suffer the same fate of so many other winter events across Ireland. Thank you for watching and goodbye.